Here we are, Machu Picchu. Pretty cool. Let's keep going. Look at the mist. Look at the fog here. Whew. Looks beautiful. So, a bit of history about the place. Machu Picchu was commissioned by an Incan emperor named Pachacuti. The Incan emperor was responsible for converting what was then the kingdom of Cusco into the Incan Empire. The Tawantinsuyu being the native name for the Incan Empire, which in Quechua means something like realm of the four parts, because apparently there were four main roads that connected the empire to the city of Cusco, the capital. It was built as some kind of royal refuge or imperial citadel, like a summer house for the emperor, for the Sapa Inca. As you can see, the mist cleared up. You can see the river from here. Aguascalientes must be somewhere behind that mountain. And here, Picchu, Machu Picchu. Pretty cool. And so, I was saying, after Pachacuti commissions Machu Picchu as a type of summer resort, that's what archaeologists think, anyway. It was lost during the Spanish invasion. The Spanish did not come here. And so there were no records of this place during the colonial period. And it only showed up on the map again after an American archaeologist named Hiram Bingham was touring here the Andes in search of the lost Incan city, the last capital of the new Incan state, which is not Machu Picchu, by the way. It's another city named Vilcabamba, or Espiritu Pampa, as it is called now. It was not until that man, Hiram Bingham, came here and published his findings here of Machu Picchu. Of course, even though Machu Picchu was not known to global audiences, it was known to the locals. And that's the only reason why Hiram Bingham was even able to find it, because he was guided here by local people. Yet the local guides, well, nobody knows their names, but there are a couple of photos of Hiram Bingham with his local guides. And yeah, I was saying that he was in search, Hiram Bingham was searching for the last capital of the Incas, which is named the Neo-Incan state. So after the Spanish defeated the Incan Empire, they captured Cusco, of course, and then there was this emperor named Manco Inca, which rebelled. He was a puppet emperor for the Spanish. He rebelled. He tried to take back Cusco. He failed, and then he retreated to the jungles of the Andes, and they formed the rump state of the Inca Empire, which we now know as the Neo-Incan Empire, which survived a couple decades post the Spanish conquest until the Spanish managed to find the city.
who discovered it?
The city of Vilcabamba, which was the capital in the Amazonian jungle, between the Andes and the Amazon, which is the capital of the new Incan Empire. So yeah, Spanish sacked the city, killed the last emperor, was named Pacamaru, killed him in the Plaza de Armas in Cusco. And so Hiram Bingham was searching for that city, for Vilcabamba, where is now the archaeological zone of Espírito Pampa, who is extremely far from here. And it's very, very remote, almost inaccessible. You can only go there by a 4-day trek, I think, which we're not going to do, it's so difficult. And yeah, in his search for the lost city of Vilcabamba, he found this. Minus the gringos, of course.
Excuse me, sir.
Found the city of Machu Picchu, which is much more famous than Vilcabamba and much more beautiful, I have to say. Vilcabamba is just a bunch of stones, typical of a city that was sacked completely. Machu Picchu is much better preserved, typical of a city that was not found by the invaders. Look at the mist rising. Right, let's avoid the tourist spots.
With the tie and all.
Look at that. Oh, this is a much better viewpoint than that one. Why are people stuck in there? Look at this. Much, much better. Let me just capture the side here to make sure that I was in Machu Picchu. So yeah, Mr. American US archaeologist Hiram Bingham was guided here by his tour guide and found this. So, I was saying, 3 years before Hiram Bingham found Machu Picchu, 3 years before he came here and published his findings, there was a Peruvian archaeologist who had come here in 1908, if I'm not mistaken. And he even left a graffiti of his name on a rock here in Machu Picchu, I don't know exactly where. So, yeah. And legend says that that Peruvian archaeologist, who now, I mean, nobody knows about his name, even though he was the first person on record of the modern period to be here in Machu Picchu. Legend says that he died on those rope bridges, you know, those unstable Inca bridges. He was crossing a river and he died, he fell into the river. And yeah, everybody knows about Hiram Bingham, but nobody knows about his name, not even I. Check it out. Check out the snow-capped mountains.
Es que a veces voy con mi carro, sí, y lo estaciona mi carro, ¿no? Ahí en cualquier sitio. Y la hora te
This
cobro
looks
como
like
50.
the Lion's Gate in Mycenae. Kind of, you can see the similarities. Then look at this. Who would come here to the top of the mountain to build, I mean, whatever it is? You can see the people over there on the upper terraces. That must be the first circuit. We are on the second, which is a classic circuit.
Sí, espera, ¿estoy bien?
Alright, let's touch a stone of Machu Picchu.
Cuando yo voy cada vez que voy a...
In 3, 2,
pagando.
1.
Cara, este estacionamiento no puede ser.
Check out. Check out the view. Look at that. Mist. Sun. I have to say, it's very pleasant. Temperature is alright. There's the slight breeze. It's pleasant. This part here is the archaeological zone, of course, the Incan village. And then there is these two mountains, this one, the shorter and the taller. The shorter mountain is called Machu Picchu. And the taller mountain, which we are going to at 9 o'clock, it's called Huayna Picchu. We're going to climb it all the way to the top. At least I think that's a circuit. You can see the Incan architecture. Still standing 500 years later. Over 500 years later. Lower terraces. I think the climb is going to be so tough. Fuck. God damn it. Oh look, what is it, Doggo doing here? Mr. Doggo, did you pay your ticket? Perito, no? I think he is trapped. Oh no, no, he's not, he's not. There's the opening over there. No. A small perro. He's a bit confused as to what to do. Oh well, let's let him be. He's trying to find an exit. He can fend for himself, I think. In the meantime... Oh, there he is. Where are you going, Mr. Perro? And so, you may have noticed that there is not much left of the Incan Empire compared to other kingdoms. That is for two reasons. First, the artifacts, the small pieces of artwork and whatnot of the Incan Empire, almost all of them were sent to Cajamarca when Francisco Pizarro had the Incan Emperor, the Sapa Inca, Atahualpa, arrested, and he demanded that Atahualpa gave all his treasures to him, to the Spanish. So, for a period of months, from all over the empire, the generals of Atahualpa and some other people would bring the treasures to Cajamarca, and then the Spanish melted everything. Possibly, I mean, most of them gold, and the Spanish melted every treasure, so that's why none are remaining to this day. Besides the small artifacts that were melted down by the Spanish, there are also not a lot of Incan temples remaining, which is one of the main reasons why Machu Picchu is so renowned, because it is relatively well preserved. Gee, look at this. Unbelievable. Damn. How did they even carry the stones up here? Amazing. See the mountains with snow up by it. Dense Andean forest. You can see the birds tweeting. Is that the correct verb? And so I was saying that there are not many Incan temples remaining. One of the main reasons why Machu Picchu is so famous, because it's relatively well preserved. Well, that is because the Spanish, when they came to the Americas, they had the habit of using every stone from structures that they found in their building projects. So many of the temples that stood in the imperial city of Cusco were the stones of the temples were used by the Spanish in their own constructions in the city. For example, the cathedral at the Plaza de Armas. Oh, look, the rabbits. The rabbits just chilling. Look at them, look at them. And so, of course, we see these patterns of using the building materials of pre-Columbian cultures as building materials for their own structures by the Spanish. The same thing happened, for instance, in the Templo Mayor of the Aztec Empire. The stones of the Templo Mayor in what is now the Zocalo in Mexico City were used to build the Metropolitan Cathedral of Mexico City. So yeah, it's a pattern of the Spanish of destroying other people's structures to build their own. And you may think that Francisco Pizarro and his crew were the first Europeans to come in contact with the Incas. That is not true. Francisco Pizarro came from the north. He sailed from Terra Firme, where is now modern day Panama, and he sailed from there to the north of South America, reaching South America in the city of Tumbes in modern day Peru in the north. However, that was not the first encounter between Europeans and the Inca. Wait, give me a second. Look at that. Oh yeah, Machu Picchu Mountain, Machu Picchu Mountain. Machu Picchu, the smallest. Machu Picchu, the tallest. So I was saying, Francisco Pizarro and his crew were not the first Europeans to come in contact with the Incas. That honor goes to a fellow countryman of mine, a Portuguese man who sailed what is now the Rio de la Plata in southern South America from Argentina and... Oh, guys are going crazy. So yeah, that Portuguese man whose name I don't know, he sailed from the Rio de la Plata in what is now Argentina and Uruguay, and he sailed all the way from the Paraguay River with a crew of Guarani people. Guarani, which is an indigenous group from the zone of Argentina and Paraguay. And yeah, that was the first recorded instance of a European person coming in contact with the Inca Empire. And I think the fate of that man, if I remember correctly, he was murdered by the same Guarani people who guided him to the southernmost parts of the Incan Empire. I have to tell you, I still do not know the difference between a llama and a alpaca. So I cannot tell you for sure which species this is. Maybe some are llamas, maybe some are alpacas. But yeah, these animals are one of the few pre-Columbian domesticated animals in the Americas. Of course, that was one of the major reasons why the Europeans were able to conquer the Americas, because the farm animals, the domesticated animals that the Europeans brought with them had diseases which the natives of the continent were not immune to, because they did not have experience with those farm animals, so they did not develop immunity to those diseases, which the Europeans had, and which created a wave of pestilence that killed almost the entire population of the continent. Of course, with almost the entire population killed, that paved the way for the European conquest. On the other hand, there was one disease that was native to the Americas and not to Europe. That disease is syphilis. But we know that syphilis is easily contained by action, or rather by inaction, if you know what I mean. This is Montanha Machu Picchu, right here. We'll climb it at 9 AM. Now it's 7 something. Actually, let me check. What time is it now? Look at that. 7:23. Our tour of Machu Picchu starts at 9 AM. 1 hour tour. Okay. Oh, 2 hours tour. I see. You can see different tours. Machu Picchu, when we're going, Machu Picchu, the smaller mountain, Gran Caverna, which is even farther back in Machu Picchu. I think you can just come here. I mean, there's no one here. Right, we have our ticket, and we're gonna go back, finish our circuit number 2, and then we'll come back here. Look at that. You can hear the river. Listen. And so I was saying that Portuguese man was the first European to come in contact with the Incas. Has been forgotten by history. Of course, the famous guy is Conquistador Francisco Pizarro, because it was his party that successfully conquered the empire. The Tawantinsuyo.
Primeira vez na América do Sul?
Não, na verdade já tinha vindo ao Brasil,
Brasil sim.
mas era muito pequeno e não me lembro.
Tá.
Não.
Tem parentes lá?
Tenho uns primos que vivem em Tocantins.
Tocantins.
Ok. Prazer.
Prazer, hein?
Prazer
Até
conhecer.
mais.
Boa viagem.
Obrigado, você também.
Obrigado. So I just met that Brazilian guy. I asked him to take a picture of me. Turns out we both speak Portuguese. I was saying about the conquistadors. The vast majority of people who came to the Americas and who made their name in the Americas, Francisco Pizarro, Hernán Cortés. They were from a Spanish province named Extremadura. I don't know how to say it in English. In Portuguese, it is Extremadura. And it is one of the poorest Spanish provinces. It's in the border with Portugal. And of course, being one of the poorest provinces, even today. So can you imagine 500 years ago? The people from there did not have much to lose, so many of them came to the Americas to try and make their riches. The sun is starting to open up. The city of Aguascalientes is behind this mountain here. So follow the river and you get the city. So I was saying, 7 wonders of the world. Machu Picchu, here, where we are now. Chichen Itza, Roman Colosseum, Christ the Redeemer in Rio de Janeiro. Petra, Great Wall of China. And is that it? So, Chichen Itza, Machu Picchu, Roman Colosseum, Petra, Great Wall of China, Christ the Redeemer. I'm missing one. Taj Mahal, of course. Taj Mahal. Yeah. So, Machu Picchu, Chichen Itza, Roman Colosseum, Petra, Great Wall of China, Christ the Redeemer, Taj Mahal. 7 wonders of the world. Right, time to go. Look at that.
Es el Ariel, boludo. Lo vamos a preguntar acá si nos permiten. Sí, sí, dame igual hace el tuyo y yo.
Right, we are at the end of our Circuit 2 tour. We are prepared for the Circuit 3. Look at that. You can see the zigzagging roads all the way to the entrance.